is up, everyone? This is Jake Minnick from Behavioral Health Integration. I'm a podcast, but today we're doing a recorded video about this recent thought that I had about LADCs, addiction counselors, LPCCs, LMFTs, etc., about the mental health field and addiction field. What are the type of salaries that we need for us to be happy? And I've touched on a lot of this on my podcast in the past. What would be a good salary? What isn't a good salary, which is the average right now, I just like to point out. So it really led me to deeper thinking on, okay, what are the motivations for us wanting a higher salary and what we actually feel that we deserve? So actually what I want for everyone to do is after they see this video, I want you to put on the comments down below, what salary do you think you deserve? And this could be your licensed alcohol addiction or LADC in Minnesota, we'll say. All right, what's a salary that will make you happy at the end of the day? And this also goes out to all the mental health therapists out there, the LMFTs, the LPCCs, or the individuals that are on the co-occurring track, right? So individuals like me who you graduated, you got your master's in mental health and addiction, what should your salary be? All right. So starting out as a master level clinician, what is a deserving salary for yourself? And again, going back to LADCs, getting out of school, what is a deserving salary? All right. And this could be for also people who've been in the field for a few years or longer too. I just want to strike up a good conversation too. And I'm just thinking right off the bat too, what are the reasons why we deserve these good salaries? And I just thought of a few good actually talking points. One, I feel like it's the amount of student loans that are taken out for college students. And again, I know college students should know what they get themselves into when going to school and everything. Just because a little story about me, like I didn't get my undergraduate degree until I was like 28. And what I got my bachelor's degree in was exercise science. Now, the only job I could have got out of college was a personal training job. So I wasn't even making 40 grand a year as like a personal trainer, so I quickly left that job and everything. So it's weird when I take that mindset and I'm thinking of an undergrad who just graduated from an addiction counseling program, their average salary, and obviously that's much higher than what I just said as a personal trainer. But, things change. And then I went on to grad school and I got my master's. And now let's just say hypothetically, I have 6 figures in student loans. As an undergrad, I probably had roughly 57,000, which is still a lot. So making a salary out of undergrad, making 50 grand a year would have been really nice for me too. So, but again, going back to my original argument, what are the reasons why we as therapists, counselors need more money, student loans, than time spent in school? So undergrad obviously is on average 4 years more if you need more time, like part-time, like I did. And then as a master level clinician, you're spending at least 2 to 4 years getting your master's degree and racking up that student loan money and the amount of classes you need to take, the credits you need to obtain, the internships you need to do, the thesis. It's a lot of work, and you should be rewarded, and I've said in the past, I think it's horrendous how they make master level clinicians do 2 years supervision in Minnesota just to be licensed. It's disgusting in my opinion. And we deserve better as a society and as therapists. And not only that, when you get to the job, this is going back to all counselors and therapists, just the amount of stress and work that you put in on a daily and weekly basis. It's extremely high. It's rigorous. Not only the stress and anxiety you can feel from the clients, but your coworkers, your managers, and other life things that come into play. And again, these are all valid reasons in my point where we deserve more money. So again, I want everyone to put a comment down below. In a perfect world, let's say this, in a realistic, perfect world, what do you think our salary should be? And I want you to comment down below. It's funny, I used to play this game when I was at Tech 2, and I mentioned this in my past episodes, where let's say if you had a long, stressful day at work, right? And it's like 9 o'clock at night, you're leaving work or whatever, and you're just exhausted from the hard day. What's the amount or the hourly rate that would actually make you feel better about yourself in that moment? what would make you feel like, okay, it's all right. Yeah, it sucked, but I'm being taken care of financially. What is that amount? And that's how much you should be making. I know that's easier said than done, but it's a nice game I like to play. And I just want to give everyone a few examples right now of the average salaries that are going on in Minnesota. I know these aren't fully accurate, so people don't bite my head off. I'm just going off of the government site right here. As you see, hopefully I can scroll down. So this is just the substance abuse disorders. So we're gonna say that's like LADC average. And as you see there, hopefully you can see it. It's $48,000, pretty much $48,520. And through my experience, that is pretty accurate. Which is also funny because a lot of places don't care if you have a master's degree. They just give you the salary of an LADC. I know in one of my first jobs, I had a master's degree and my LADC was coming in the mail, or not in the mail, but into the system on the website. And at first they said, okay, we're going to give you 48 to start, but until your LADC comes in, you get 50. One, that's ridiculously low for everyone, just that salary range. And it's just funny. It's like, well, I have a master's degree in mental health and addiction. And shouldn't that count for something? And it just didn't. It did not in this company's eyes. Now, some companies do give you a little bit extra for having a master's degree too. I will give them that. So a lot of times you have to look on the job requirement section on Indeed, and they'll tell you all that stuff too. But as you see right here, it is around 48,000. And again, that is pretty accurate. Again, through my experience, starting out as an LADC, like some places will pay you more. Some will be a little bit less. And obviously, if you want to work part-time, it's obviously going to be a lot less too. So I'm guessing it's probably around 50 to 55 starting out. And again, that could be with a master's too. So here. So now I want to do the big comparison of nurses, which I like to do. And again, I don't dislike nurses. I have nothing against them. I think what they do is an amazing work in the health field. They really do a great job. But for this, I want to check the stats out here. So hopefully that shows up. Yep, right there. So as we see here for registered nurses in the state of Minnesota is 77,600. Again, I'm not a nurse. I don't know how accurate that is. Sure, you can go on simplyhire.com and Indeed.com to, again, find more accurate answers when it comes to salary. But this is what I got right here. So entry-level position, bachelor's degree, RN, 77,600. So again, that's what they say. I don't know if that's considered a little less, a little bit more. I'm just going off of what the site says. And again, when I say this, people, I'm not saying nurses don't deserve this. I'm not saying nurses deserve less than this. No, I'm saying addiction counselors and mental health professionals need to be making these kind of salaries. And here's my main argument. If we want to go to, their curriculum, nurses have to learn a lot about biology, chemistry, and a whole bunch of like other medical terms and different ways to apply medical interventions to patients. Yes, absolutely. That is extremely difficult. And again, nurses should be taken care of financially for that. But you will never convince me or tell me that a nurse's job is more stressful than a LADC's job or a mental health therapist's job. Not in this God green earth would you ever say that to me and I'll believe that. No, absolutely not. All right. And I'm also not saying an LADC can walk up to a nurse and be like, oh, my job is more stressful than yours. No, absolutely not. We all work with different clientele, different patients, different settings. But again, that is my argument when it comes to that. Now, again, if you want to get into the educational piece, sure. Like some people say, well, the RN education is so much more difficult than LADC. Is fine. You could try to make that argument. I don't really have an argument against that. I mean, some people prefer that type of route more than LADC, the education, the biology aspect of it, whatever. But again, my main argument is the amount of time spent in school and the stress and the amount of long hours put in the job. All right. What I'm saying is LADCs and therapists, licensed therapists need to make more money. And you cannot tell me a nurse deserves more money than a counselor or an LADC. No, you will not. Nope. And I want to show you another statistic too that I found. So on the same site, again, this is the bls.gov site. I can't really find like an LPCC. So the best example they can give me is a marriage and family therapist. All right, let's see. Yep, right there. And you see right here, average 50 grand a year. Again, that's not, that it varies so much. It really does. Because again, once you get licensed, you can own your own private practice. Companies are going to pay you more regardless. You could do more additional work to get your supervision certification. So then you can supervise other like LPCCs, LMFTs, and make more money that way. But again, yeah, $50,000, that's not accurate. It's really hard because that's why a lot of professors actually convinced me to go the co-occurring route and get your LADC first, because it's going to be a lot easier for you to get a job as a LADC compared to just a mental health practitioner. So when you graduate with your master's degree, you're not so-called considered a therapist yet. You're a practitioner. Some states will even call you a trainee. I think that's ridiculous. Don't get me started on that. That's a whole nother rant. That's going to take more time. So yeah, it varies. It really varies. I cannot give you a good accurate answer. Yeah, 50 grand is pretty accurate. Even less is even more accurate. Again, until you get your license. Now, for the many of the mental health tracks, if you put in like 1,000 hours of postgraduate work, I'm not sure what the marriage and family route is called, but for LPCC, you just be an LPC once you pass the licensing exam. So licensed professional counselor, you'll get paid a little bit more when you get that certification some places. And yeah, for that's not uncommon to make 70 grand. I remember my orientation day when I was at Adler Graduate School. The guy was telling me, expect to take roughly 5 years from when you start grad school to get fully licensed as your therapist route. And yeah, roughly 5 years if you're going all the way straight. And as soon to make a salary around, God, what was I forgot, 60 to 70 starting to up to 120,000 a year. Now, again, that's not fully accurate too. And I know that's a wide range, but you can make a lot more money than that, again, if you do decide to go to private practice. And I have a lot of podcast episodes on that. My friend Robert Mendoza, he does a lot of work educating LADCs on their private practice. He was actually on my episode number 20 on that. And I've done consultation with him. He's an amazing, awesome man. He helps out a lot of people, and he's doing a great job with his private practice. So all the LADCs out there, if you are interested in doing your private practice and not going, let's say, the mental health route, you could still make a really good living and get a lot of great, honest work done. And Robert can help you out with that too. So that's another route for addiction counselors to take. A little side note though, you need to be an LADC for 3 years, and you do need your LADC supervision to, again, be eligible to start going on your private practice. And you can find out more information again on episode 20 of Behavioral Health Integration. And yeah, that's pretty much all my main points. Again, I was really excited for doing this video. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to put it out. Again, please leave comments down below of what you think counselors and therapists should be making starting out and over time too. And if you want to give your more additional examples that I have not given, please do that. I just want to start a nice, cool, big chat on this, and I think this is really cool. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, please contact me at behaviorhealthintegration.org for my website, or my Gmail is behavioralhealthintegration121@gmail.com. All right, that's about it. And thank you. Have a good day, everyone. Bye. I just want to thank all of my listeners for your support, and just to inform everyone that the information expressed in this episode was not meant to be taken as therapeutic advice. If you do find yourself struggling with any type of mental health or addiction issues, please seek the care of a medical doctor or a licensed mental health therapist. And if anyone has any further questions for me, you can reach me at my email address, behaviorhealthintegration121@gmail.com. You can also find me on LinkedIn at Jacob Menig, where you will find more educational posts on psychotherapy, trauma, and addiction. And finally, you can follow me on my website, which is behaviorhealthintegration.org. I also want to inform everyone that there is a great new device out there called CalmiGo. It's a breathing device meant to control and manage your breathing rates and the depth of your breathing as you inhale and exhale to again help relieve any type of anxiety and stress-like symptoms. And if you do put the BHI podcast into the promo code, you get $30 off this amazing device. It is a once-in-a-lifetime deal, and you will not be disappointed. All right, everyone. Until next time, have a good day. Bye.